We just got back a 50 card submission full of tag team Pokemon cards from the Sun and Moon era. And spoiler alert, once again, we got a lot of PSA 10s. First up, we have this beautiful alternate art from the Sun and Moon era Tag Bolt, the Venusaur and Celebi GX. Look at that amazing texture, absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, it did get the 9. I was hoping for a 10. I mean, I'm always hoping for 10s, right? But 9 is A-okay. This was one of the first cards that was graded, and when I looked through like the first 10 cards, I was like, oh man, this might actually be pretty bad. And then like every card after that was a 10, so I can't really complain. Next up, we have some rainbow cards. So a lot of these cards that you're gonna see do come from the Sun and Moon era. So I picked up some rainbows, I picked up some tag teams, I picked up some full arts, I picked up a bunch of different cards from that specific era and sent them all kind of in the same submission together. So this is a full metal wall hyper rare Blastoise GX. Unfortunately, again, this one got the 9. One of those first 10 that was graded that kind of scared me, but beautiful card. Really like the texture on these Sun and Moon full arts. And I am a fan of rainbow rares. I know some people aren't, but I think this is a really nice Blastoise card from the Sun and Moon block. We got another rainbow rare, this one from Miracle Twins. This is the Dragonite GX rainbow rare. Again, beautiful texture on these cards. And this I actually sent 2 copies of, and both of them, luckily, got the PSA 10. So very happy to see that. Love Dragonite, one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. Love the texture, love everything about these cards. So happy that they both got 10s. Along with regular full arts, I also sent in a bunch of tag teams. So we got some tag team rainbow rares coming up and some tag team full arts coming up. This one, unfortunately, the Lucario and Melmetal from Full Metal Wall got these 6. I don't quite know why. I haven't looked at it too harshly at this point. I'll probably end up cracking this one out and then taking a better look at it and probably selling it raw at an upcoming show. I'll have to look at it a little further to see exactly what happened here. We're back on the 10 train with these Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia GX from Altered Genesis. Again, I sent 2 copies of this card. Both the copies got PSA 10. So I had to pick up some of these that have Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. 3 legendary Pokemon all on one card. Can't really beat that, man, especially for people who love Gen 4. We'll keep the 10s rolling. We got this Greninja and Zoroark GX from Night Unison. This is again the full art rainbow rare. And again, I sent 2 copies of this and they both got 10s. So very happy about the results on these cards. I love Greninja, one of the most popular Pokemon at least a few years ago. It did win that popularity contest that was on the official Pokemon website. So that's really awesome. Had a big role in the anime. I foresee big things for Greninja going forward. Bit of a mixed bag with this Eevee Snorlax GX Rainbow Hyper Rare from Tag Bolt. I love the combination of these two, Eevee and Snorlax. I don't know how this happened, how Eevee got paired with Snorlax, how that combination occurred, but we do have 2 of these. One of them unfortunately did get the 9. The other one did get the 10. And I hope that you guys can appreciate as much as I do the textures on each of these cards. They're all different and they're all unique in their own way, and they all just pop really well. Next up, we got a double gut punch. So this is the Celebi Venusaur GX Tag Bolt Hyper Rare. Not the alternate art that we saw before, but obviously the rainbow full art double gut punch, because I sent in both of these and they both for some reason got 9s. So I'm probably gonna lose a little bit on both these cards, but they are beautiful and they should be a great addition to someone's PSA 9 collection. Please excuse the interruption, but did you know that you're missing about an hour's worth of content every week by not being a member of this channel? I just started a Let's Play series called Member Mondays, where I take a look at a new game every week. There's only a couple episodes out right now, but I'm trying to take a look at a ton of games that I've never played before. So far, it's been a ton of fun, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it if you choose to become a member today. Next, we are working our way into the Sun and Moon full art cards. This is the one from Double Blaze, the Reshiram Charizard GX. This one got the PSA 10. Another beautiful texture on this one. But we also behind it have the Charizard Braixen GX from Remix Bout, and that one also got the PSA 10. So 2 PSA 10s. You're gonna see PSA 10 a lot throughout the rest of the video. Just like my last PSA return video, this PSA return had like an 89% 10 rate on Sun and Moon GX cards, which is pretty impressive, I think, because centering tends to get hit a lot on these cards. They're increasingly tougher to find, well centered and in good condition. So I was very happy with the 90% 10s that we got on these. Back to Blastoise, and this Blastoise did not let me down like the Rainbow Rare one in getting the 9. Both of these Blastoise got the PSA 10. I sent in 2 copies of the Blastoise Piplup GX. Once again, man, I don't know. This era and this era's texture, people talk about like black and white era, they talk about the newest eras, but just look at these textures on these full art cards. Like, they're absolutely gorgeous. And I think a lot of people would say that they like the Sun and Moon full art GXs a lot better than they do the rainbows, because the full arts really do a good job of accentuating the Pokemon and using, you know, complementary colors in the background and great texture. But yeah, super beautiful Blastoise, cute little Piplup. On to the next one. Next up, thankfully, I am replacing one that I literally just sold. I got, in my last submission, I got a Rainbow Rare 10 of this and a Full Art 10 of this, and they both sold to the same person recently, right after I put them up on eBay, and now I get to replace that with a PSA 10 of the Full Art once again. Gengar, Mimikyu, both incredibly popular Pokemon from their respective eras, and just a really cool tag team artwork. Tag Bolt. Tag Bolt has a bunch of amazing cards. Continuing with Tag Bolt, we have Pikachu and Zekrom GX. So obviously Pikachu, the mascot of Pokemon, the most popular Pokemon probably of all time. And then you have Zekrom, one of the legendaries from Gen 5. Very cool to see them both on a card together. Again, like the alternate art, really beautiful version of this card, but these full arts, really nice looking and a lot cheaper, that's for sure. I'm telling you, Tag Bolt has those amazing tag teams. What an amazing set. So we have the Eevee Snorlax GX. This is the full art. Remember, we had some Rainbow Rares that were a 9 and a 10. Thankfully, both the full arts that I sent in, both got 10s. Whenever I can find these at decent prices, I will pick them up and try to snag those 10s. Nothing much better than an evolution and one of the most popular Gen 3 Pokemon probably of all time. We've got Gardevoir and Sylveon. What a match made in heaven to put on a card together. Gardevoir is one of those Pokemon that surprised me when I got back into the hobby at how well a lot of Gardevoir cards sell and how much Pokemon pushes Gardevoir. It seems like every era there's multiple amazing secret rares and alt arts and stuff of Gardevoir. I sent in 3 of these, and actually I think I have another one in a submission as well, and all 3 of these got 10s. All 10s all the time. Let's finish up our tag team full arts now. I've got 3 cards. Let's show them back to back to back. We've got Lucario, Melmetal. This one did get the PSA 10 from Full Metal Wall. We've got Latias and Latios again. Tag Bolt GX. This set is crazy. And last but not least, Night Unison. We did get the Greninja and Zoroark GX. All 3 of these got PSA 10. Now we've got a couple of just Sun and Moon GX full arts. Gyarados, super popular Gen 1 Pokemon. It got the PSA 10. This is from Ultra Dimensional Beasts. I honestly didn't even know that that was the name of a set, but I had to grab this. Great looking card. Did get the PSA 10. Very happy about that. And then we also have the Suicune GX from Super Burst Impact. Super Burst Impact actually also has the Lugia GX full art, which is awesome as well. But here we have the Suicune full art. Suicune's one of my favorite of the legendary dogs. Might be my favorite of the legendary dogs. Love this Pokemon. Love this card. Gem in 10, baby. And I think we are done with the Sun and Moon era after these 2 cards. We've got Gengar and Mimikyu GX. Amazing looking card. A lot of people actually like this card more than the alternate art version of this card. And in English, this card is really expensive in a PSA 10. But again, Tag Bolt. Crazy set. I'm telling you. I mean, it's Gengar. It's Mimikyu. How many times do I have to say it? There's a moon in there. It's a Moonbreon without Umbreon. It's the Gengamoon. I don't. So 2 PSA 10s, gotta love it. The next 3 cards I actually sent in this submission because I had to hit 50 for the special. And I think I had 47 cards, and I was looking through my backlog, like what cards could I send that are Japanese, popular Pokemon, easy PSA 10s. And so I sent this Lugia VSTAR from Paradigm Trigger. And then we have Mew from VSTAR Universe. This one was sitting in one of the boxes in the backlog, and this one also got the PSA 10. So we got the Lugia PSA 10 and the Mew PSA 10, and I sent an Umbreon VMAX from Eevee Heroes. It's Umbreon. There's an Umbreon tax right now. Everyone loves him. We've got a little stack left. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. Now let's jump into some stuff a bit more modern. I feel like when people think of Starbirth and Brilliant Stars, they think of Charizard, right? And they don't necessarily think of how good the Arceus card in this set actually was. I think it actually rivals the artwork of the Charizard card. I think a lot of people would say that this Arceus is better looking than the Charizard card, and I would be hard pressed to not agree with them. It's really cheap in Japanese, surprisingly. A lot of these cards are much cheaper in Japanese than they are in English. It's definitely something that we've been seeing the gap kind of widen more and more, especially with like 151, with the Charizard selling for like $600 now. The Charizard selling in Japanese for like 130, 150, somewhere in there. Like the gap is widening on a lot of these modern sets, and it's kind of wild to see. If you want a cheaper alternative, Japanese is there, and in a lot of cases, they look just as good, if not a lot better, with some of the textures treatments that they get in Japanese versus English. This one got the PSA 10. 10. Super happy about that. So we saw some Sun and Moon rainbows earlier in the video, but now we're gonna see some Sword and Shield rainbows. Tell me which ones you like more in the comments. Do you like the Sun and Moon rainbows better? Do you like the Sword and Shield rainbows better? Or do you like the newest rainbows better? It's a toss-up for me, man. I really like the Sword and Shield rainbows. I think they look really nice and they have great texture, but the new ones coming out, man, those are really cool. The rainbow pattern on them feels a bit more subtle, which I like. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. So we've got a Lugia VSTAR from Paradigm Trigger, hyper rare in a PSA 10, and we have a Rayquaza VMAX from Blue Sky Stream, another hyper rare in PSA 10. I mean, just look at the texture, man. It's just so good looking. I was chatting with a friend of mine the other night on a live stream, and we were talking about, we got the question, what are your top 3 favorite sets of all time? And I asked him, would any modern set drop into that top 3 greatest sets of all time for you? And he said, possibly VSTAR Universe. VSTAR Universe is an amazing set. It's a set full of alternate arts, and it has the Charizard VSTAR and the Mewtwo VSTAR, the opposite ends of the POV of the artwork of each Pokemon going to battle. So I sent in some of these Charizard VSTARs. We got 3 of these back, and all 3 of them got the PSA 10. So that's really awesome. I also did send a bunch of Mewtwo's. I sent in what looks to be 6 of the Mewtwo's. So we have 1 PSA 10, 2 PSA 10s, 3 PSA 10s, what is happening? 4 PSA 10s, 5 PSA 10s, 6 PSA 10s on this beautiful Mewtwo V-Star. Beautiful card, man, so beautiful. I got these slightly out of order because we're going back in time again, because I totally forgot that I sent in some Shining Pokemon cards from Japanese Shining Legends. So we have the Shining Celebi. This one thankfully got the PSA 10. I love that just the Pokemon on these cards got the shiny treatment. And then back to Arceus, I sent 2 of the Shining Arceus from Japanese Shining Legends to PSA, and those also both got PSA 10, so absolutely amazing. These cards are under $100, guys. These Shining Legends Shinings in PSA 10 are under $100. It's crazy for me to think about cards, and I know that it truly doesn't matter because it all comes down to demand, but it is crazy to think, to try and process it in my brain, that a card with over, you know, 10,000 in the pop is selling for $500, and these cards, which I don't know what the pop is like, being under $100 is just crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Is it crazy? Or am I crazy? I don't know. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in checking out another PSA return of mine, you can click on this video right here.